So hello and welcome back. In this video we will do example number 1 on page 466, which is which of the following equations are not exponential functions. So basically first I have f of x is equal to 4 raised to the power 3 into x minus 2. So this is basically an exponential function. There is nothing wrong with it as far as exponential functions and their definition is concerned. The next one is g of x is equal to x raised to power 3 or x cubed. This is a power function. This is a cubic function, power function, and basically not an exponential function. So basically so far g is not an exponential function. H of x is equal to 1/3 whole raised to the power x. This is an exponential function. B can be basically your exponential function that by definition has to be f of x is equal to a times b raised to the power x, and b has to be a positive number. So b belongs to R, and b has to be greater than 0, and b cannot be equal to 1. So this is basically 1/3 is nothing but 0.333 and so on and so forth. So this is an exponential function. There is nothing wrong with that. And j of x is equal to -2 raised to the power x. So here basically this is not an exponential function because b has to be greater than 0. So in this case, for example, basically let's see, it's basically by definition not a exponential function. So that's that. And so these two, g of x and j of x, are the ones that are the answers here. And there is one more example here, try number 1 on page 466, that says which of the following equations represent exponential functions. So this is basically you have f of x is equal to 2x squared minus 3x plus 1, which is a polynomial function. Polynomial function of degree 2. This is not a exponential function. Then you have g of x is equal to 0.875 raised to the power x. This is an exponential function. Here your a is equal to 1, so this is basically 1 times this whole thing, and your b is equal to 0.875. So and then you have raised b to the to x. So there is nothing wrong with that. Your h of x is equal to 1.75 into x plus 2. So this is a linear function. This is a straight line. This is your slope, and this is your y-intercept. So this is a linear function, basically. Linear function. And next, j of x is equal to 1095.6 raised to the power negative 2x. And this is basically, let me graph this function. So basically this is an exponential function, and it's an exponential decay. And if you want to do the graph of the function, so the y-intercept of this function is around y is equal to 1. So something like this is around y is equal to 1, and the function goes something like this. So of course it never actually touches the x-axis. Let me do it. It's basically something like this. It never touches the x-axis, but basically a function like this, it's an exponential decay. So that's all we have here, and in the next video we are going to do evaluating exponential functions. So I'll see you in the next video.